Tonight, something happened in the Karen Reed trial that should make every citizen in Massachusetts uneasy. How did Mr. Brennan go from this snobby attitude here to removing his glasses in utter shock? Oh, the tangle web we weave when one practices to deceive. What the heck happened in Judge Canoni's courtroom today? Mr. Hankey was at it again.
Live from the town courthouse, it's the Hankey hearings on South Park 13. Santa Claus is everywhere, sing a song from a choir.
Today, something happened in the Karen Reed trial that should make every single citizen in Massachusetts uneasy. Mr. Hank Brennan, prosecutor for the Commonwealth, didn't just challenge evidence, he staged a scene. And now the defense wants the charges thrown out. Let's break it down. Mr. Hank Brennan, lead prosecutor for the Commonwealth, held up the back of John O'Keefe's hoodie in court. He raises it in front of the jury dramatically and suggests that these holes in the back of the sweatshirt came from road rash.
Did you ever look at the back of the sweatshirt to see if there was any holes to the back of the sweatshirt other than the right arm and you formed your opinion?
I don't recall.
Take a look at the back. Do you see other holes on the back of Mr. O'Keefe's sweatshirt?
It appears I see one hole.
Let me get a little closer so you can get a better look. I'll direct you to here. Do you see more than one hole in the back of Mr. O'Keefe's sweatshirt?
Yes.
Then Brennan, still pressing, asks if Dr. Wolf had conducted any study to determine if John O'Keefe had fallen backwards.
You showed us holes in Randy's sweatshirt from Test F. You remember that?
Yes.
And you talked about what you would or wouldn't expect in a collision as far as holes. And did you say something that was inconsistent with Mr. O'Keefe?
Yes.
That's what you said on redirect, right?
Correct.
Did you consider whether there were holes in Mr. O'Keefe's sweatshirt separate from the holes in the arm?
Well, I know that there was cutting to the...
Boom. End of story, right? Wrong. Brennan keeps pushing, accusing Wolf of not analyzing the back of the hoodie enough.
Did you consider that Mr. O'Keefe may have fallen or landed on his back?
Well, in looking at those holes, they're inconsistent with road rash. And again, to get those kind of holes, you have to have prolonged sliding contact on a rough surface.
Did you consider that Mr. O'Keefe may have fallen or landed on his back?
Well, if you just fall and land on your back, you're not going to be sliding to get those abrasions and tearing. And again, those are not consistent with road rash.
Defense attorney Alisi demanded a mistrial with prejudice. He says this wasn't an accident, it wasn't a mistake, it was a calculated move by Mr. Brennan to discredit Dr. Wolf in front of the jury. This wasn't just a misstep. Hank Brennan has fought tooth and nail to keep Dr. Wolf off the witness stand. He challenged him in voir dire, tried to exclude him, tried to bury his credentials, and also made accusations that Dr. Wolf took a payment from the defense in the last trial. I don't know if you guys remember that. Judge Beverly was just totally in shock and had to end court that day because she just couldn't believe what she was hearing. Well, after all of that failed, Mr. Brennan resorted to this, a courtroom stunt designed to smear Mr. Wolf in front of the jury.
For a mistrial with prejudice based upon intentional misconduct that just occurred before the court and for the jury. Attorney Brennan questioned Dr. Wolf with regard to the hoodie sweatshirt that heretofore has been in the plastic casing for trial. And this is the, what happened was Attorney Brennan held up the casing with a hoodie sweatshirt, went to the back of the hoodie sweatshirt. First point to note, Mr. Brennan did not show Mr. Jackson the back of the hoodie sweatshirt, didn't give Mr. Jackson an opportunity to look at it.
Can I just ask a question? I noticed that it was over here at the witness stand this morning, so I assumed everyone was aware that something was going to happen with it. Is that not the case, Mr. Jackson?
That is not the case, Your Honor.
Okay.
The first time I realized that line
Okay.
of question was going to be asked was when Mr. Brennan pulled the casing out.
Okay.
Mr. Brennan takes the hoodie sweatshirt in the casing without notice, shows it to Dr. Wolf, and shows the back of the hoodie, which has certain holes, and I'm going to limit calling them holes to do this chronologically. I'm going to refer to exactly what they are in a moment.
It would help me if you held it up for me now,
Absolutely, Your
Mr.
Honor.
Alessi.
So here is the back
Okay.
of the hoodie.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
It's very obvious that these are cutting holes cut by the criminalist. Mr. Brennan grabs the hoodie sweatshirt inside the casing, doesn't show it to Attorney Jackson, goes up, we have no idea that this was going to happen, goes up, confronts the witness, Dr. Wolf, shows the back of the hoodie sweatshirt. To my knowledge, the first time the back has been referenced of the hoodie sweatshirt, shows Dr. Wolf, confronts him, and basically says, couldn't these holes be caused, and I'm paraphrasing, from a fall backwards? Obviously positing in the juror's mind. What then happens is Dr. Wolf is asked a series of questions, very much with the indication that somehow, in the clear implication, that these holes are being caused by road rash, and that the holes in the back of the hoodie sweatshirt, Exhibit 88, could have been or likely were caused with regard to some type of impact. Clearly presented to the jurors with that in mind in that questioning. Those holes in the back of the hoodie sweatshirt are clearly, unequivocally, without doubt, caused nothing to do with any type of event on or about January 29th, 2000. I'm holding up YYY, which is the back of the hoodie. I believe is the only one, to my knowledge, not put into evidence, not turned into evidence. This is the one that it clearly shows the hoodie before the criminalist started her work with the cuts. There are no cuts to YYY, and if we need to, we'll bring Ms. Hartnett in to confirm.
So is ZZZ in evidence?
ZZZ is not in evidence, and that is part of the basis for the mistrial. It is no coincidence that these two documents are not in evidence, because if they were in evidence, they would clearly have prevented the stunt that we just saw occur with regard to Dr. Wolf. So that is part of the intentional misconduct, Your Honor, which has cuts in the back from the criminalist, somebody from the Commonwealth, a witness in this case, Ms. Hartnett, she's testified, and now what we have is we have holes in the back of the sweatshirt that were dramatically held up to and confronted with Dr. Wolf, and then the jury sees it. Egregious. What could be more misleading than that? And what could be more important for a context? They picked the most opportune, sensitive time to pull this stuff. This is intentional. This is irremediable. The amount of effort, the amount of work, I can't even begin to think to remedy this in front of the jury. They're now resorting to conduct like this. Your Honor, at some point, this has to come to an end.
My brief review of the lab paperwork and looking at the hoodie, it appears that I made a mistake. And so I think what should happen is there should be a curative instruction. There should be a stipulation. The court should instruct the jury that during Mr. Brennan's cross-examination, he asked Dr. Wolf about holes on the sweatshirt or holes on the back of Mr. O'Keefe's sweatshirt. The parties agree the holes were made by a crime lab technician. This was done inadvertently but should not have been asked. The court should strike the questions and the answers, and you should instruct the jury there to completely disregard any questions or answers about the holes in the back of the sweatshirt, and the court should allow the defense to introduce the lab paperwork.
I'm not going to allow the mistrial motion, Mr. Lessie. What I'm going to do is instruct the jurors.
Instead, she tells the jury to disregard the whole thing.
All right, jurors, that's the back of the sweatshirt that was shown to Dr. Wolf. So, jurors, I instruct you that those holes were made by the criminalist, Ms. Harnett, during the course of her inspection and sampling of the sweatshirt back on May 18th, 2023. Okay?
How the hell is that supposed to fix it? You can't unsee that. You can't pretend the prosecutor didn't just accuse the defense's star expert of missing key evidence when he as in Brennan, knew damn well that wasn't true. This isn't a fair trial. This is theater produced by the Commonwealth, starring Hank Brennan and directed by a judge who seems more annoyed with the defense than concerned with the truth. And with that, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Bye.